My friends mocked my wife in our arranged marriage, so I cut them off.
Snip, snip. That's all I got.
My wife and I have been married for close to a year now. She was born and raised in India her entire life, while I have been raised here in America since I was 4 years old. By the way, this comes from user Concerned Husband 2821, and if you want to submit your own stories, you can submit them at the r/OK Storytime subreddit. As you all saw the title, this was an arranged marriage, and I met her around 2 weeks before the wedding. Despite not knowing each other for a longer period of time, we have grown very close, and I care for her deeply. My main group of friends, however, many whom I have known since college, have joked and made fun of our marriage and my wife. For example, we were at a dinner party a couple months ago and my friends were talking about something. My wife then commented, but because she has a pretty pronounced Indian accent, she butchered a few words and everyone laughed and began to impersonate and make fun of her.
I mean, honestly, your friends sound lame for making fun of your wife or something like that, but I do also understand maybe the raised eyebrows at the arranged marriage just because it's a difference.
It's a culture. It's a very different cultural thing. And,
like
but
if
still,
Keon, if you told me that you just met a girl 2 weeks ago and then you were getting married, I'd be like, are you sure about that? Like,
I can see how much this hurt her, and for the rest of the night she was silent and later on asked to leave early. This was the only time this occurred in front of her, but many times when I have gone out with my buddies, they casually make fun of her accent or her confusion when it comes to American traditions and customs. Every time I tell them, enough, they say, I'm just joking, man, chill out, or don't take it so seriously. No, your friends suck.
Yeah, dude, it's like when you make it clear that you have a boundary, and the boundary is stop disrespecting my wife to my face.
And they're like, we're just joking, but we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, those guys they suck. They don't respect you.
In addition, there have been a few times when I've gone out or talked with coworkers, and when they begin to talk about or complain about their relationships, I chime in. They basically ignore or make snide remarks regarding what I have to say. I specifically remember one time where a coworker said, "What do you know about marriage? Yours is not even an actual marriage." I suppose I'm asking for help on how to deal with these sorts of comments, as I'm sure more will come throughout my marriage. My wife is naturally just very shy, so I know she won't try and defend herself when crap like this happens. That's where you come in, OP. She hasn't been able to make any friends since coming here and refuses to come out with me because of my friends. I know she feels homesick at times, and I really want to help her come out of her shell because she's a wonderful person and her happiness is extremely important to me. So, I suppose I have two questions. 1, how can I deal with my friends and coworkers? And 2, how do I help my wife gain more confidence and come out of her shell? And we have some relevant comments. But before we go to those comments, 1, what Dakota said, it's time for you to really cement that process through their brains of, hey, you see this? Close-minded? How about we open that a little bit and like be a little bit more comforting and let my wife, make her feel more welcome than being such a-holes about it.
Yeah.
And stop making fun of her. That's my wife. I don't care what you think. It's my culture.
Exactly.
My wife. I love her no matter what. And if you guys don't want to, do that, we're done. I don't care. You don't need those people in your life. You can always make new friends or meet new people. That's not too hard these days.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I would probably lay down a 2 to 3 strike rule for, depending on how close. If these are really, really close friends you've had for years and years and years, right? Maybe they just aren't aware of how serious you are about this. So I would lay down maybe the ultimatum or the strikes where it's like, if you continue to disrespect my wife in front of me, I will be cutting you out of my life.
Yeah. And speaking of comments, comment number 1. How can I deal with my friends and coworkers? Firmly, but politely. I'm just joking, man. Chill out. You might be joking, but I'm not. Don't take it so seriously. That is my wife you are talking about, and I am taking it seriously. And how do I help my wife gain more confidence and come out of her shell? Are there any interests your wife has? And are there any clubs in your area that correspond to her interests? Are there Indian communities in your area? Also, you might want to do a fun activity together, like dancing, assuming she likes to dance, or go swimming or cycling together, preferably something outdoorsy. OP replies, yes, in fact, there is one Indian community/club she has been interested in joining. I'm hoping she feels a bit more at home there. And she really enjoys cycling. I think that's an excellent idea. Thank you. Another reply. Also, taking some college classes could really help here. Courses on spicy sleep and culture, for example, delve into these issues and teach crass American college students there are many ways of being married. Basic cultural anthropology, sociology classes. Your friends sound incredibly self-centered and immature. So maybe reading Christopher Lash's Culture of Narcissism together, a classic, really don't need to finish it, would help her understand this particular subculture. OP replies, my wife is actually planning on doing her master's degree here, lol. She's currently looking for a job to save up more money. But yes, I agree that the experience of going to college itself will help her feel more comfortable and at home in this environment. And we have an update. Good comments.
Let's go. Yeah, good comments.
After reading through the comments on my previous post, it really surprised and shocked me how many people thought my friends were racist, bigots, or a-holes. It struck a chord deep in me with how many outsiders had such a different perspective on the issue, where I thought I wasn't being firm enough and my friends were just ignorant in terms of ramifications of their actions, whereas the vast majority of commenters thought they were just plain a-holes and racist.
I will say, though, that just like belittling her for having an Indian accent, that's super racist.
Yeah, or making fun of her for it.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
I guess I was hoping if I was simply firm in my resolve and told them in no uncertain terms if their disrespectful behavior were to continue, we could no longer continue socializing. They would see the error in their ways and hopefully apologize to my wife.
Oh, I bet you this is going to be OP losing all his friends.
And that's okay. If
Yeah.
you make new friends, it is a possibility.
It is what it is. You don't want to be friends with these people anyway if this is how they're going to treat your wife.
Let's see what happens. So, yesterday, I asked them if we can all meet up to discuss something important, and after work, we all went out for drinks. Once we started talking, I told them how disrespectful they were being towards both my wife and I. I addressed how much it had hurt my wife to be made fun of just because of her accent and ignorance when it comes to American customs. I continued by saying that I understand we usually joke about these sorts of topics, such as race, but now I realize how wrong it was and it all needed to stop. They did not take me seriously at all. Immediately, everyone began commenting on how much of a witch I'd become since getting married, and I was always getting so prissy and sensitive about crap we used to laugh about all the time.
Are all these guys single? Do they not understand like slam dunking on them all the time? They wouldn't be upset about that? That's, come on, who are these
Hey,
people?
if we're friends, we would respect each other's, boundaries and lines if we asked about it, if we
Yeah.
were friends. But it seems like these guys aren't your friends.
Yeah, for real.
They continue by saying I never enjoyed myself anymore and how I'd basically abandoned our group because I was always spending time with my wife. I was consistently trying to respond or defend myself, but the effers kept interrupting me and wouldn't let me say anything. They also said I stopped partying like I used to, like, what the F? Sorry, I'm not interested in getting crap-faced at the club every Friday night. We're not in college anymore. You're also married. Like, you can still do that, but, like, you want to, like, be an adult. It's time to grow up.
Things change. Oh my God, I never see you at the club. That's funny. I never see you at the Runestones.
In the club, we're not fam anymore.
There is no fam in the club. I don't take my fam to the club.
Then, one of the guys says, are you being all uptight because you're not getting laid anymore? I'm surprised, man. If my wife was as hot as my wife's name, I'd be banging the crap out of her every day.
Oh my God. So wait, so he does have a wife. This other guy has a wife and doesn't understand why OP doesn't want them to slam dunk on her. What is wrong with these people?
They are just taking those comments and turning them into like, oh, you're wrong, we're right. We can't take the criticism because you're wrong. You're not getting any spicy sleep. You are a loser now because your wife just came. You're not you, man. You're like, no, you're still you, OP. You just grew up and they are stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Then all of them effing laughed like he'd made a hilarious joke instead of being a massive a-hole. After that, I was done with them and told them I no longer wanted to socialize with people who were being completely disrespectful and held bigoted attitudes towards my wife, and then I left.
Yes.
Once I got home, my wife immediately asked what was wrong. I suppose I must have still looked pissed off over what transpired. I told her how sorry I was over the way I handled the situation and how she would no longer have to deal with their mocking and bullying. She looked extremely guilty that I said this and told me I didn't have to sacrifice my happiness and friendships just to please her, and I should continue hanging out with them if I really wanted to. I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit, but I started crying like a baby. This woman who left everything behind, her life, her family, her friends, to travel halfway across the world to a completely different country, all on the promise that I would provide her a better life, thought this entire situation was her fault and was saying I should prioritize my happiness over her own feelings or well-being. It broke me. It made me realize what a selfish prick I was. And there's no way I can segue this. There's no way I can segue this. Because that was really sweet. That was so sweet.
Also, where did the I'm a selfish guy come from? But I don't, I feel like OP wasn't being selfish. OP just had their eyes open that their friends are trash, you know? Like,
yeah, and I'm sure she understands how much, this is your life and it's going to become together your brand new life. So the fact that she wanted you, like, she didn't want you to lose your friends. She cares for you as much as you care for her, which is very sweet. And that's very loving. But this isn't something that you need to worry about. You know your friends were D-bags and a-holes that you don't need in your life. And you guys can make brand new friends that have common interests with you and that support you and will be there for you and not turn on you. There's a little bit left of this story, but I think we kind of hit that on the head there.
Yeah.
I think the last comment I have to make before we finish this up is you may have lost your old friends, but you're making a brand new friend with your wife here.
That's right.
Like, she's not going to resent you. She understands that you're putting her first before anyone else, before yourself now. So
it really sounds like it's time for a new chapter. These guys just want you to like go out and get wasted and like hook up with chicks. Like they're living in the past.
Yeah. No, you have a brand new life. This is a new chapter, and this is a new experience for you and her. I think this is going to be great because all you have to do is just be there for each other.
Sounds pretty beautiful to me, baby.
I love it. Let's go and finish the story up. So I spent over an hour convincing her this wasn't her fault at all and that she should never believe my feelings are more important than hers. And whenever she's feeling more than hers, whenever she's feeling hurt or angry, she should express those feelings without ever thinking it was wrong to do so. I'm very saddened by how long I had allowed this to transpire, and I have a ton of making up to do. Also, I just wanted to express my thanks to Reddit. This was the main reason I posted an update. Your guys' comments really helped take the wool off my eyes and understand the reality of the situation. We're in a much better place now because of it, and I truly do appreciate everything. Thank you. And we still have some comments here. Comment number 1, all of these guys are single, right? OP replied, no, the one who made the spicy sleep comment is married. Another is engaged, and the rest are single. Another reply, wow. So that guy was also insulting his own wife with that comment? Classy. OP replies, yeah, he treats his wife like crap and cheats on her consistently. I have no respect for that man. Comment number 2. I think you and your wife will start falling in love very soon, if you haven't already. Smiley face. OP replied, I actually do love her very much. I just haven't told her yet. You should start telling her.
Yeah, just tell her. I mean, look, you broke down and cried because you're like, oh my God, she's so sweet. My wife is so sweet. It makes me feel bad.
Well, this is the reason why. I'm not very good at expressing myself, I guess. I've also never said I love you in a relationship before, so I have no idea how to do it. Do you have any advice when should be the best time? Another reply, say it when you feel the urge to say it. It doesn't matter if it's at dinner, snuggling in bed, or just doing the dishes. When you look at your wife or think about her and the words rise up in your head, say them. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Saying I love you makes it a perfect moment. That is so sweet. That is so sweet.
A little sweetie pies.
That's so sweet. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, what?
I love you.
I love you too.
And guess what, guys? We love you too. That's the end of that story. It looks like OP is going to have a happy wife and a happy life.
Right.
That's all you need. And you make some good friends along the way that support you.